Thank you, Commander, the board, all the excellent people behind me here. And thank you all for coming. I really didn't have an agenda when I came here, but I know you guys like to hear jokes. So this is kind of a long joke, so bear with me. It's an old joke, and I think y'all have heard it, and I'm going to give Ronald Reagan the credit. So right now, politics are kind of crazy right now. I think the country's so divided, and it's really sad to see the anger. I know my wife we were watching the news, and I won't tell you what channel we were watching, but basically she's just like, everyone is so angry. I mean, even the reporters, everybody's just like so full of passion and anger, and it's really difficult. Like, at least we don't see any of the violence going on out here. We got such great communities with District 3 that we haven't had any major issues. So hopefully that continues as we get closer to the elections. But so Ronald Reagan told the joke of a reporter had gone to the Democratic National Convention, and as he was walking up, he saw this young boy out there selling kittens. Has anybody heard this? So they were selling kittens, and he had a sign on the box of kittens, and there was like 4 or 5 of them in there, and they had the Democrat kittens. And the reporter kind of looked at that and just thought, oh, that's cute, it's the DNC convention, and he just kind of went about his way. And a couple weeks later, they had the Republican National Convention, and he sees the same kid out there with the same box of kittens, and now their sign says Republican kittens. And he's like, oh, that's kind of unique. He went up and he goes, come on, kid, what's the deal? Like, how come, you had the Democrat kittens a couple weeks ago, and then the same exact kittens, and now they're Republican kittens? He goes, what's the difference? He goes, they're the same kittens. He goes, it's 2 weeks later, and their eyes are open. I thought it was funny. But seriously, our country is so divided, and it's really sad because we got to stand together. We all stand here, and we stand in front of the flag, and we all say that we're united, but we're really not. I was watching one of the conventions, and they were interviewing a guy, and the guy actually made a comment, and he says, I'm actually the other party. And they were kind of shocked, and they're like, why are you here? He goes, because my wife is opposite of me. And I'll just say this, my wife is complete opposite me. My job is to cancel her vote out, and her job is to cancel my vote out. I told her the other day, I'm like, can we just not vote? Like, let's just not vote, because our job is to cancel each other out. So, but that right there says, I don't care what party you are. We have to love each other, and we just have to be kind. Like my wife and I, there's some conversations we just can't have, and we just respect that from each other, but we just keep on loving each other. So with that being said, speaking of a lot of love, the Sheriff's Office is doing our best to keep serving the community based off of the challenges we're facing right now with our district remodel. You guys been by Bell and Dysart to see that the construction site just is a complete shambles right now. They're actually starting to move forward now. They've done all the demolition. So how many of you have not been to the district prior to the remodel? Has anybody not been to my district? Okay. So the building was built in 1982, and it was half a jail, and it was a working jail at one time, and then half administrative offices. So basically it sat on a footprint of, I think, 11,000 square feet. Only half of that was offices and the other half was jail. I think they shut down the jail, Bill, was it a 91? I feel like in the early 90s, they finally shut down the jail. We didn't have the staffing to run it. All the West Valley agencies used to book people into our jail, DPS, Surprise, Peoria, but obviously that closed down a long time ago. And then apparently there's this stuff called asbestos, I don't know. So they stopped, they condemned it. So then we used it as like storage space, our briefing room. And so our district was definitely outdated. So we finally got permission. I started working on this project 3 years ago. finally got permission from the county, so the construction's underway. It's gonna go from 11,000 to 22,000 square feet. So it'll be nice, but District 2 down south got 33,000 square feet. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. So with that being said, it should be done in the next 15 months, I think. That's what the projected date is, but usually it takes a little bit longer as we know how construction and supply chains go and everything else. So with that being said, what else was I gonna talk about? Oh,
We're gonna talk about
staffing. Oh, okay. So we're gonna have a really beautiful facility and we're not gonna really have that many people working out of it. So right now we are struggling with staffing. My staffing is the lowest it's ever been in the 4 years that I've been out here. It's terrible, and it can only be contributed to everybody's leaving and going to other agencies for more money. So we are the sheriff's office, and I think one of our unions, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it because I'm being recorded by Rusty. They are working with the sheriff's working with the board of supervisors to try and get a pay increase step plan so that we can be competitive. So currently, I just lost one of my deputies, my community liaison, Mike Redmond, you guys know him? So he went to Motors, and we were really happy to see him go to that next chapter, and then apparently Goodyear PD snagged him up for a lot more money a year. So we cannot compete, and it's very frustrating that I'm having to struggle to fill the driver's seats of cars. I've got more cars, I think, than bodies, so just kidding, I don't, but it's pretty close. I think I'm down to, I would say, at least 70% staffing, and that, don't quote me on that, I'm just throwing that number based off of looking at the board and stuff. So it's very frustrating, but we're doing the best we can. We're still answering calls for service. Unfortunately, the deputies are on mandatory overtime days, and they're out there just working for both ends. So if you see a deputy out there, please thank them for the arduous and continuous battle that they have to show up every day and do this on their days off and come in for extra days. And with the upcoming election, they don't get vacation time for that week, and they have to come in and work and be ready for the worst so that we can keep the community safe. Anything else, Bill? Oh, coffee with a cop on set. You're gonna talk about that, Bill. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Coffee with a cop tomorrow. She'll talk on that and give the location. Man, I just got my hand slapped. That was crazy. I'm not ever reaching back again. I'm just gonna come over here like, hey guys. Starbucks, yes. But I don't want to take your thunder away. All right. I saw a slide up earlier, so she'll talk about it. I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, no question. Oh, there's always that guy. Just kidding. Go ahead. What's that?
Remodel? Where's the building stuff?
Bell and Dysart is where our old substation is, and I didn't even talk about it, but we have to have a place to go to in the morning, so the county built out 4 trailers, so we're in a trailer park. No, we're in a trailer oasis is what we're calling it. We're in the yard behind McDOT. So if you go where our substation is, then there's MVD, then there's the McDOT, and then they had a big vacant yard that we stole some of their land, and we're paying for that monthly, so that's where we're at. And then Youngtown is being built out, the substation out there to be a public access point, but we're running into a lot of issues with technology and APS having to put in a couple power poles, so that's getting pushed out. And we gave them 3 years notice, but anyway, so it's government work is going really well, so it's very frustrating, but we'll hopefully be up and running in Youngtown, have a public access point, and should be happy. Any more questions? All right, bye.